Hello chess fam, it's me, National Master Jesse James, and today we're going to be taking a look at a very fun idea, or a trappy idea, in the Scotch. I went ahead and went over this trap idea, and also included the game I actually played in it. We start with e4, e5, knight to f3, knight c6, d4, our beloved Scotch right here. This is definitely an opening that I highly recommend to new players playing chess, just because it is something a little bit different than the standard Italian opening, and also it opens up the game quite fast so you can really attack. Now at higher levels, I'll say like anything above 1500, I don't recommend this opening because it is very easy for black to equalize, as we'll see in this game. Here we go. Pawn takes, knight f6, knight c3. This is one of my favorite variations. This is called the four knights Scotch, which makes sense as the four knights just come out. And here we played bishop b4, and this is a line that black plays to go ahead and equalize as soon as possible. Why? What does this move do? Well, first of all, because I move the same piece twice, the knight going to d4 to take the pawn, black plays bishop out and now is up a tempo. See? 1, 2, 3, and I only got 2 right here. And the good move with this is it develops as a threat, because now they're already threatening knight takes on e4. Now, white's best moves are to play knight takes on c6. You might be saying, why do you take on c6? Because the best move here is to play bishop d3. Although I'm pretty sure you guys already see the mistake here. If you play bishop d3 right away, the knight just takes and all of a sudden we're down a piece. So that's why the move order is like this. We're going to go ahead and play knight takes first. Let's take back toward the center. B takes. Of course, taking back with the d pawn, we'll just trade queens, and well, that'll stop them from castling. And now we play bishop to d3. And here, my opponent did not play the best move, and instead plays a side variation. Here, he went ahead and castled. The move here I'll recommend for black to get that equal game, and very easily, is just to play pawn to d5 here instead. After this, the theory goes on for a little bit longer, but this is what I recommend to anybody playing the black side of this. This is the one that annoys me, at least gets me into equal position, and well, who wants equal position, right? White should always be having a slight advantage. So, here he played castles. I went ahead and castled. He played rook e8, a decent move right here. It develops with a threat, now attacking the e4 pawn, and black is threatening bishop takes the knight, and then they can take on e4, right? I have 2 defenders, they have 2 attackers, so the idea is just to go ahead and take and get rid of one of them. Well, here I went ahead and played bishop g5, and we are still in theory here. I played this thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of times, and well, bishop g5 is the move here I like to play, just to pin the knight. And here he played an interesting move, pawn to d6. This move I love to see from my opponents. Again, maybe he mouse slipped, but the move is to play at least d5 here. So once d6 gets played, the reason why I love this so much is because now I can put pressure on the knight. Meaning, if the bishop can go back to e7, this pin doesn't do anything. It's like a lot of Italian games. You know, this pin doesn't mean anything if he can't attack it again. And with the bishop right there, the worst you can do is just trade off. So when they play d6, I get so happy because now I get my standard idea. What's my standard idea? And the Scotch, when I'm playing this, I want to go for kingside attack. One of the reasons why I like it is to play f4, e5. And we're going to see how that plan works out here. All right, here we go. I went ahead and played f4. Again, a move I just love to play. There's the rule, do not move the f-pawn. This is true, but whenever you castle, you can actually play a really good idea for it. And if you want to go ahead and look for, I have a video that talks about moving the f-pawn idea, a very strong idea. Has 2 main ideas here. One of them being that you can rook left for kingside attack. And the other one is, well, the f-pawn can actually become an attacking piece. This one pawn can mess up 3 pawns when the pawn gets to f6, hopefully if it ever does. So f4 gets played, but the last idea that I have here is actually to play e5 here, and well, as you can see, it's a pinned piece that the knight can't move anywhere, so I'm going to win it. And this is the idea that I found and / missed in this game. All right, here's the trappy idea. So he played bishop c5 check, no problem. My king went to h1. It wanted to go there anyways. The king is very safe in the corner over here. Here, rook b8, not a bad idea. The idea is just really to attack a pawn, which, well, I can live with here. When the rook attacks the pawn, I've played ideas with even just playing my queen over to the king side and just saying, you know what, just take the pawn. I gambit the pawn away. But here is where I missed, where I could play a good move here to, well, win a piece. And now the trap move that I always play. Here I played the wah-wah, the lame move of pawn to b3. What was the best move here? Feel free to push pause if you want to and see if you can find the move. But it's white to move here and win a piece, or at least mess up black's king side. All right, hopefully you push pause and try to figure it out. Believe it or not, the move was e5 here right away. This is the best move. Wait a second, I thought you can't play this yet. Typically, you have to prepare this with moving the rook or maybe even the queen over to defend e5. But here you're saying, well, can't you just take, and then rook takes? It looks like it's defended enough times. The square e5 was defended enough times, but whenever you made this move, you missed. the queen was left unprotected. Hopefully now you can see the simple idea. What was it? Simple chess. Bishop takes on h7 check here, and we're just going to win the queen over here. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. I did not see this, but I have added this to my game, and I've played it many times since. All right, back to the game. So here I played the lame move, wah-wah, pawn to b3. And here he played bishop d4, a very good move. Not only does this bishop move attack the knight, but it also puts him in a pin because the rook is right behind it. Here I just went ahead and played simple chess, queen dt, developing my queen, which I want to move anyways, and also defending the knight, so I can slide my rook over to e1, maybe even a d1 in the future. All right, he went ahead and played pawn to h6, a move I'm happy to see. And now I went for it, bishop to h4. And here, queen to e7. Again, not the best move. You're still in the pin here. And, well, let's go ahead and put pressure on them. Rook a to e1, the best move in this position. Now I have that big threat of pawn to e5 in this situation. And we can see with the pin here, well, this is just going to be a win. Here, queen to f8 got played. And now, well, what do you do with these kind of ideas? We're going to go ahead and try to put pressure on the knight. So what do you play here? Simple chess. Let's just get rid of the bishop. I can't take right away right now because, well, if I do, well, the bishop just takes back. And playing e5 here, I think everything should be okay. Maybe there's some complications here, but we have a stronger move to try and take advantage of this. Knight to e2. Remember, get rid of the bishop, and now we can take on f6 and ruin their pawn's structure over here on the king side. Well, here he went ahead and played bishop to b6. It's unfortunately the best move in the position. And now, well, let's mess up their king side. Bishop takes on f6, g takes on f6, and this is a great position. In this position, I definitely love my knight. And you can kind of see there's many different ways for this knight to move to go toward the king side. Maybe even knight f4 here, depending on what I play. All right, here we go. f5, here a move that the computer doesn't like as much. Here I decided on that idea of trying to play knight f4, knight h5, and I still have my rook lift ideas over here. Yeah, I guess there was maybe a stronger move. I mean, this is just one of those moves that's good, but there is just a better move here. Here he played d5, makes sense. Here the bishop, as you can see, is not doing much work in this game. So to play d5 is trying to undermine. And, well, let's go ahead and do it. Knight to f4. My knight is already heading to that great square, h5. Knight takes on f6 check. Not only winning a pawn, but also winning a rook and even some checkmating ideas. The game continued. Pawn takes, bishop takes, a nice little tempo attacking the pawn over here. You can actually play knight h5 if you want to, but I like to keep it simple. Bishop takes over here, threatening the pawn. He went ahead and played bishop a6, a move, not a bad idea, but, well, I'm actually quite happy to see. Here, this move is not too hard. We're just going to play pawn to c4 here. And now I got this very beautiful pawn structure. I've covered my rook, and the bishop is not doing anything good over here. Here, rook b to d8 makes sense. The rook slides over to d8 to get a free tempo off the queen, take the open file here. But how did you know I want to move my queen? And how did you know I'm going to head toward this king side? I went ahead and played queen to c3. Now, the idea here is to get a free tempo because I'm attacking the pawn, but the real idea is to bring the queen over here to g3, or maybe even h3, a slide over to the king side. Here, he went ahead and played bishop d4, makes sense. Blocks my queen and defends the pawn here on f6. Here we go. I do my queen slide, queen over to h3. Now I'm attacking the h6 pawn. And I still have an idea about playing the rook lift over here. Maybe I'll just cash out. Maybe just take the pawn over here on c6. And this is when he played his move of king to h7. And in this game, I got my double exclam move. I believe in this game, I had a very nice performance rating of around 2,700. So not too bad. I definitely could do better. But 27 is something I'll deal with. And here it was white to move. Can you find the double exclam move that I played to get into a winning position? All right, hopefully you push pause. Hopefully you try to figure it out. Here I got to play my brilliant move of knight to e6, your double exclam. Hope you like that. The idea here is very interesting. The idea here is attacking the queen, attacking the rook, right? It's a fork. So even if they don't take, well, I get to attack them, right? Of course, pawn can take here. And, well, to be honest, I don't think there's anything better. Here he went ahead and took. Again, if he doesn't take, I'll just take over here anyways. And now we're going to go ahead and take back and check. And now the pawn went to f5. At this point, there really is just no good moves at this point. I guess the king can go over to, where do you think? I would say don't go to g7 because my rook is going to come in with an extra free tempo. So let's just say to h8. But now it becomes like almost that Fischer game, Boris Spassky. You play rook f4, rook h4, and there's just no good way to stop the threat of taking on h6 here, which is definitely something I was going to play anyways. And you don't have to worry about the pawn. It's already being protected. It should be game over pretty soon here. Anyways, back to the game. Here, black did not handle this this attack very well. And, well, played f5. Simple chess. What do you play here? Rook takes on f5. Not only do you win the pawn, but now you're threatening a double check here, or at least a discovery check, because while the rook attacks the queen, we're also threatening to move the rook for the bishop to attack the king. And again, there's just no good move here. It's going to be eventually checkmate here. Here, he played king h8. I mean, again, there was nothing really better. I guess you could play something like, gosh, I don't know. Maybe try to move the queen to g7 or e7. It doesn't matter. Here, we're still going to play it. Ooh, look at this beautiful idea. Rook to f8 check. Yes, you could have played rook f7, but after rook f8 check, you're taking away the escape squares. At this point, the queen has to block, and now we're just going to finish it up. Bishop takes on g6 as a move. Actually, rook f7 check. Bishop to g7. Bishop takes. King takes. And queen f5 is a nice mate right there. Oof, that would have been nice here too. Anyways, back in the game, he went ahead and played king h8. Again, it was just game over. Rook takes f8. Rook takes. Queen takes on h6 with a mate to follow here. Yeah, the only move is going to be king to g8 here. And then queen h7 is just going to be a check and a mate. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this. We'll see you in the next video.